Hello, I'm here today to do this presentation of the work of Demetrio Sanchez Gomez, who worked for Charlton in the 70s, and he's from Alicante, Spain, which is a place that many artists came from that worked for Charlton, notably Enrique Nieto. These stories are short and sweet, but he's very decorative with his artwork. I wish I was more articulate and more prepared for this. He draws pretty girls and fast cars and fashions, and he's just head and shoulders above most of the artists at Charlton at the time. I started doing this because I bought a big lot of Charlton romance comics, and as I was going through them, I noticed that a lot of the art was just really not interesting, but some of it was very interesting. And so I began scanning the art that I thought was interesting, and then I found that I was scanning out all this Demetrio artwork, and it's really good. Here's a Johnny Love story. A lot of artists did Johnny Love. I like the decorations there in the background. This is a long video and I don't have a lot to say. I wish I could put some music into it, but I don't really have any music that I can put on without a copyright strike. So the stories, they try to go to exotic places and do things. This is from Young Brides, I think. From the Shadows. You can tell Demetrio by the way he draws hair. He really lays it on. He must have spent a lot of time on it. And this is a common theme with Charlton comics, the fight in the alley. I like the bubbles that he puts in the background frequently, and this little decorations. Very attractive. I was going through the internet and I found that Demetrio Sanchez has a YouTube channel for one of his art shows, and I think it's the same artist. He would be about the right age. I think he's in his 80s now, and I was very impressed with the little bit of artwork that they showed in the video. It was in Spanish, so I couldn't really understand what he was saying very much, but I got a sense of the artist or his demeanor as he was talking. So if you want to go to YouTube, look up Demetrio Sanchez, and maybe you can find that video and see his art that he's doing now. I like his cars. Very cool. His cars and his girls. It's very good. And she's getting married. That's always a good thing in these comics. Sometimes the goal, get the ring. This is a wonderful cover. If you love it, put a ring on it. I think that's what it said. Yep, there he is. I hope you're enjoying this art presentation. And you can always feel free to stop it and read the stories as you go. And I suggest that you put some music on to listen to rather than listen to me drone on and on. Some artists I have a lot of information on, but I couldn't find too much other than uh, Demetrio worked for Charlton. He had, I can't remember, 60 or 70 credits. He also did, besides the romance work, he did horror and war stories. And I think he did an issue of House of Yang and even some of the Hot Rod books, at least one or two credits as I recall. Look at that. I really love his artwork. It's just so nice. It's so detailed. These stories were mainly written, I think, by Joe Gill, who was an interesting guy. He worked there at Charlton in the office. He sat there at a typewriter and ground out these stories. I understand he was getting paid $4 a page for these stories, which is kind of cool. True love. And they say that Charlton had the lowest rates in the industry. I'm not sure if that's true, although I think that there was a benefit for artists of there wasn't that much editorial demands on them. In other words, they would get the script, they would draw the art and turn it in, and that would be the end of it, rather than like Marvel would have you do corrections and do this and that. Of course, they paid more money, but they demanded more work. Knock, knock. I remember you. Vroom. I had the idea to do these run-throughs. I had the files, and I was trying to figure out how to make an interesting video about Demetrio, and it was hard because I couldn't find any information about him. A little bit at the Lambiak Cartoonopedia, who they said, really it wasn't very helpful. That he started out for a children's magazine, and then later worked for this publisher and that publisher in Europe, which I couldn't relate to because I'm not familiar with them. I should have written it down. But what the heck? I'm not a professional. I'm just a fan, and I'm a fan of Charlton Comics, and I'm a fan of Demetrio, and this video is just a labor of love to present the artwork to you so you can experience it, and perhaps you might be inspired to collect it. I have collected these stories into a book, which is available if you're interested. If you look at the descriptions of my channel, there's a link. Look for Demetrio Sanchez Gomez. You can click on it and you can see a preview of the book and order it if you care to. I'd do anything. Some of the stories are kind of cheesy. What, did this one come in twice? I guess I wasn't paying too close attention to the files. Did I repeat this story? Maybe not. I'm an old guy. I'm a retired pensioner, and I just do this in a kind of a makeshift manner. So I hope you appreciate that it's just a labor of love, and I'm not charging you anything for it. It's just here it is. The barrier. Isn't that nice? The trees looking down. Interesting perspectives. Leave love behind. And she's really enjoying the speed there in that boat. She's very expressive face there in that panel. These stories are all over the place. And the kiss is the final thing. Bus Ride Blues. This was kind of a good story, I thought. With this girl who meets this guy and she keeps running into him. She's on a bus trip and she keeps running into him in one city after another. It's kind of, I recommend you read that story. It's kind of funny. Life of Lies. Well, we're coming to the end now. And I hope if you have any comments, I'd love to hear what you have to say. And if you like this video, like it. And if you want to subscribe, that'd be cool too. So this has been a presentation of the artwork of Demetrio Sanchez Gomez. Apparently he goes by Demetrio Sanchez or just Demetrio. Any way you say it, his work from the 70s was very good. The Bulldog's Grip. I think this is the last story that I have here to present. His art's a little more complex. I wonder how much he got paid for this. It's probably better money in the 70s. It went a little farther than it does these days. Well, again, if you have any comments, I'd like to hear them. Thanks a lot.